she was telling me before, like with the thing that she's trying to do, the direction that she's trying to go, she doesn't really want to identify as, you know, a cancer patient or the cancer girl, which I totally get.
Yeah.
Because that's like a stamp that gets really old really quickly. And truth be told, like, you're so much more than that as well. Like, you're not just like, I'm not just saying that for the camera, but I think you know, your true talent and skills lies in being like a life coach. And
I was gonna say something.
We're still working on the chemistry. Go ahead.
The thing with all that is you get stigmatized very quickly when you tell people I have cancer, I had cancer. It automatically turns into a thing. It's whether people asking you what happened, how did you find out, how was it, or it could just go like people being sympathetic to you to the point they're just like showing too much sympathy, and it's annoying. Obviously you learn how to live with that. I think you can corroborate me on that one. Like, you just get used to people being curious about what happened to you and your story.
Yeah.
And you just tell your story as just that, like something that happened to you, and sometimes you get so detached from your own story, then you just, I don't know, I personally tell my story and I can't really like,
you know,
relate to it anymore. It's like I'm like telling someone else's story.
You know what's interesting? Like, I just thought of this right now. With me, it's like when people see me, they instantly see that something is or was wrong, right? So it's like, it's very obvious from the first second. Now I can imagine, and like that's like the segue into a question for you.
Yeah.
Especially like when people see you, they're like, especially, or like when guys see you, and like, you know, I always keep it real. They're like, man, that's a cute girl, right? That's a beautiful woman right there. So then, because that's how you look, like it would be an understatement to say that there's nothing wrong with you on the outside. Unlike with me, like, you look great. I'm gonna stop saying that now because I'm gonna get roasted in the comments. But I say all that to say this: how often has it happened to you that you like ran into someone new, like whether it be, you know, just like a friend or anything else, and you're talking, and then you get to that point where you have to basically talk about, well, you know, so this is what's happening right now. Like, I'm undergoing chemo, I'm doing this and that. And like, how often does the entire perception of you change? I can even imagine maybe that there's like a shift in the way they look at you, like instantly once you drop that on them.
Last year, my hair was growing and I wasn't going under treatment. Like, it was easier to hide it, but every place I go, obviously people know there's something with me. Right. It's whether like a work environment or a social environment, because obviously I'm always going to doctor's appointments and I'm always getting blood work done, so it's easy for people to point out the obvious, that are you sick, even if I don't look sick. Or there's always something that I can't really do, and then I have to explain why can I do that. Yeah. Like, oh, like, you can't swim, why can't you swim? And it's like, I had surgery on my lung. Oh, why? And then you have to just throw the whole story, because I'm not gonna lie.
Right. So it's not something that you bring up super early into like getting to know someone. It's not like, hey, by the way, before we say anything else, I just want to get this out of the way. Or it's just something that you keep in the background until the occasion presents itself.
Let me tell you this. When I was diagnosed at first, I went back to school pretty quickly. Like, I was diagnosed, I got my first chemo, and after my first chemo, I signed up for college again. Like, and I was pretty good at hiding it. So I would go with my eyebrows did and my super cute turban, and I wouldn't talk about it. And after, like, I had to bring it up a few times for my teachers for specific reasons, and they were shocked as well. Like, but you never said anything.
Right.
And it's like, I don't want you to know. I'm telling you now because there's a specific situation going on and I needed to get it fixed.
Right.
So I was really good at hiding it. I would throw eyelashes on, and I would paint my eyebrows, and I would do my makeup every single day, and
Yeah.
I would wear wigs, and I would, do every single thing possible to just hide the fact that I was sick. And I think I became pretty good at it
Yeah.
until I got really tired of just hiding the fact that I was sick.
Yeah.
So I started going out more often when my hair started to grow. But then it was the obvious question, like, so you just decided to shave your head? Because my face looked good, my body looked good, and I had the energy to be out on a social environment.
Yeah.
But then the obvious was there, like,
Right.
but you bald.
Yeah.
Why you bald? Like, you just decided to shave your head. And it was like, sometimes I would just say yes, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I just decided to shave my head because I'm a rebel like that.
Yeah.
Some other times I get like, well, no, I have this condition that, I'm undergoing treatment and it made my hair fall. What type of treatment? And then it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going to say? I have lupus?
Yeah.
Like, I have
Yeah,
to tell
yeah,
you the
yeah.
truth. So, last year, it was the best year to hide it. And I started a new job. People didn't know about my stuff, but then I had to go to the doctor every other week. And then I started chemo, and then I just had to tell everyone
Yeah.
that I had cancer again.
Yeah.
So then I became the cancer girl
Yeah.
at work. So
Yeah.
it's always a little confusing. People see you. That's the thing about having something that people can point out the obvious to people for you. Like, they see you and they know something happened. But the struggle of being a cancer patient begins with diagnosis. And when people don't see that you have physical evidence that you're struggling, all of a sudden your struggle is not worth, like, it's not as valued.
Right.
So that's something that I don't have going for me. The
Right.
fact that I could be undergoing a very serious, like, moment when it comes to my,
Yeah.
like, health-wise, and people wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Because they're not automatically seeing me or seeing my scar.
Right.
Like, at least, like, it's a very weird spot to be at. Like, you're constantly put on that category, but also sometimes it gets taken away from you, and it's like, I don't want your sympathy, but I also want you to understand why I do things sometimes.
Yeah.
Why I act a certain way,
Yeah.
why I said a specific thing.
Yeah.
Because obviously there are an emotional side of things that people can't really tell just by looking at you.